There's a certain kind of man who doesn't need to be seen, yet people notice him. He doesn't speak much, yet when he does, every word carries weight. He moves through the world quietly, but somehow his presence shifts the energy in the room. This man isn't chasing attention, approval, or validation. He's focused on his own path, guided by inner strength and an unshakable sense of independence. To outsiders, he may seem distant or mysterious, but in reality, he simply values freedom, discipline, and authenticity above everything else. This is what it means to carry the Sigma spirit. Not loud, not boastful, but powerful in ways most people can't put into words. And if you've ever felt like you don't quite fit into the roles others expect of you, if you've always walked your own road, no matter how lonely it gets, then this might just be who you really are. Here are 13 signs you're actually a Sigma male. Let's get into it. Chapter 1. You actually prefer being alone, and it's not just social anxiety. Here's the first reality check. If you're a Sigma, you don't just tolerate being alone, you crave it. While everyone else is desperately trying to fill their weekends with plans, you're genuinely excited about having zero obligations. This isn't about being antisocial or having social anxiety. You can handle groups when necessary, but you don't get energized by them. Your best ideas come when you're alone. Your clearest thinking happens in solitude. Other people's constant need for validation and attention, it drains you. Real Sigmas understand something most people don't. There's a massive difference between being lonely and being alone. Loneliness is painful, desperate, something you want to escape. Being alone is peaceful, productive, and chosen. You're not scrolling through your phone wishing someone would text. You're not feeling FOMO when others post about their social lives. You're genuinely content with your own company because you've built an inner world rich enough to keep you entertained. Most people can't handle 24 hours without external stimulation. You could disappear for a week and come back refreshed. Chapter 2. Authority figures don't impress you at all. This one separates the real Sigmas from the wannabes. True Sigmas don't automatically respect authority just because someone has a title, corner office, or social media following. You judge people by their character and competence, not their position. Your boss might be the boss, but if they're incompetent, you're not pretending otherwise. You'll do your job, but you won't kiss ass or play office politics. That celebrity everyone's obsessing over, you see right through the image to the person underneath. This doesn't mean you're disrespectful or rebellious for the sake of it. You're just not impressed by surface-level power. You've seen too many people in positions they didn't earn, saying things they don't believe, and leading people they don't understand. Real authority, the kind based on wisdom, integrity, and actual results, you'll respect instantly. But the fake stuff, the posturing, the power trips, the because I said so mentality, it bounces right off you. You'd rather work for yourself than bow to someone you don't respect. And honestly, that attitude has probably cost you jobs, relationships, and social opportunities. But you wouldn't change it even if you could. Chapter 3. External validation feels empty. While everyone else is chasing likes, comments, praise, and recognition, you've discovered something they haven't. External validation is a trap. Sure, it feels good in the moment, but it's also addictive, temporary, and ultimately hollow. You don't post for attention. When you achieve something, your first instinct isn't to broadcast it. Other people's opinions about your choices, your lifestyle, your goals, they carry almost no weight in your decision-making process. This isn't arrogance, it's freedom. You've realized that living for other people's approval is a prison.
The moment you need their validation, you give them control over your happiness, and you're not willing to make that trade. You measure success by your own internal metrics. Are you becoming who you want to be? Are you moving toward your goals? Are you living with integrity? These questions matter more than what anyone else thinks. The crazy part is, this indifference to validation actually makes you more attractive to others. People are drawn to those who seem unaffected by their approval or disapproval. But you're not playing hard to get. You genuinely don't need their validation to feel good about yourself.
Chapter 4. Silence doesn't scare you. Most people are terrified of silence. They'll fill every quiet moment with small talk, music, podcasts, or scrolling. But you? Silence is where you do your best thinking. You're that person who can sit in a coffee shop for hours without feeling the need to pull out your phone. You can drive long distances without music, just thinking. When others are chattering nervously to fill awkward pauses, you're comfortable letting the quiet exist. This comfort with silence gives you a massive advantage. You think before you speak, you process before you react. While others are running their mouths, you're actually listening and observing. People often mistake your quiet nature for being mysterious or aloof, but really, you just don't feel compelled to fill every moment with noise. You understand that silence often communicates more than words. In a world where everyone's desperately trying to be heard, your willingness to be quiet makes you stand out without even trying. Chapter 5. You see what others miss. Sigma males are natural observers. While everyone else is caught up in the performance, you're watching the show from the audience. You notice body language, inconsistencies, hidden motivations, and unspoken tensions that fly right over other people's heads. You can walk into a room and immediately sense the dynamics. Who has real power? Who's pretending? Who's uncomfortable? Who's putting on an act? It's not that you're trying to analyze everything, it just happens automatically. This observation skill makes you an excellent judge of character, but it also means you see through a lot of BS that others fall for. The guy everyone thinks is confident, you see his insecurity. The woman everyone finds charming, you notice her manipulation tactics. Sometimes this ability feels like a burden because ignorance really can be bliss. But it also protects you from making the same mistakes as people who take everything at face value. You analyze first, act second. While others are making impulsive decisions, you're thinking 3 steps ahead. Chapter 6. You own less but enjoy more. True Sigmas naturally gravitate toward minimalism, not because it's trendy, but because they understand something fundamental. Stuff doesn't make you happy, and too much stuff actually makes you miserable. Your apartment probably looks sparse to other people, but everything you own serves a purpose or brings you genuine joy. You don't buy things to impress others or fill emotional voids. You buy what you need and what adds value to your life. This extends beyond material possessions. Your social circle is small but meaningful. Your commitments are few but important. Your interests are focused rather than scattered. You've learned that saying no to good things allows you to say yes to great things. While others are drowning in choices, obligations, and possessions, you've simplified your life to focus on what actually matters. Quality over quantity isn't just a philosophy for you, it's a way of life. Chapter 7. Your confidence is quiet. Real confidence doesn't need to announce itself. You don't feel the need to prove how smart, successful, or capable you are because you know these things without needing external confirmation. You're not the loudest person in the room, but you're often the most grounded. You don't dominate conversations or try to impress people with stories about your achievements. Your presence speaks for itself. This quiet confidence is magnetic because it's rare. Most people's confidence is fragile. It depends on others' reactions and can be shattered by criticism. Your confidence is internal and stable because it's based on self-knowledge rather than self-image. You can admit when you're wrong without feeling diminished. You can handle criticism without getting defensive. You can be around more successful people without feeling inadequate. This isn't arrogance disguised as humility. It's genuine self-assurance that doesn't need external fuel to keep burning.
Chapter 8. You can walk away from anything. This might be the most defining Sigma trait, the ability to walk away from people, situations, and opportunities that don't serve you without looking back or second-guessing yourself. Bad relationship? You'll leave. Toxic job? You'll quit. Friend group that drains you? You'll distance yourself. Most people stay in situations that make them miserable because they're afraid of being alone or starting over. Not you. You understand that your peace of mind is worth more than any relationship, job, or social status. You'd rather be alone than compromised. You'd rather start over than settle. This isn't about being cold or uncaring. It's about having clear boundaries and the courage to enforce them. You don't threaten to leave as manipulation. When you're done, you're done. People often mistake this for not caring, but actually, you care so much about your own well-being that you refuse to sacrifice it for anyone or anything.
Chapter 9. Small talk feels like torture. While everyone else is bonding over weather and celebrity gossip, you're internally dying. Small talk feels like a waste of time and mental energy. You'd rather have one deep conversation than 20 shallow ones. You're not trying to be difficult. Surface-level topics just don't engage your mind. You want to talk about ideas, goals, philosophy, personal growth, or anything that actually matters. The mundane, social lubricant that keeps most interactions flowing feels meaningless to you. When you do engage in conversation, people often leave feeling like they learned something or saw things differently. You naturally steer discussions towards substance because that's where your interest lives. This can make you seem aloof at parties or social gatherings, but you're not antisocial. You're just waiting for a conversation worth having. Chapter 10. Chaos doesn't faze you. When everyone else is panicking, you stay calm. When the situation is falling apart, you think clearly. When others are making emotional decisions, you remain logical. This isn't about being emotionless. You feel things deeply, but you don't let emotions override your judgment or push you into poor decisions. You've learned to observe your feelings without being controlled by them. People often turn to you in crisis situations because your calm energy is stabilizing. You're not trying to be the leader, but your composure naturally makes others feel more secure. This emotional regulation is a superpower in a world where most people are reactive, impulsive, and easily triggered by minor inconveniences. Chapter 11. People are curious about you. Without trying to be mysterious, you naturally intrigue people. You don't overshare, you don't post your entire life online, and you don't feel the need to explain yourself constantly. This restraint creates curiosity. People want to know what you're thinking, what you do in your free time, what drives you. But you're selective about what you reveal and to whom. You're not playing games or trying to seem interesting. You genuinely value privacy and see no reason to broadcast every thought and experience. This natural reserve makes you memorable in a world where everyone's trying to grab attention. Chapter 12. Self-discipline is your default setting. While others need external motivation, accountability partners, and constant reminders to stick to their goals, self-discipline comes naturally to you. You do what you say you'll do, even when you don't feel like it. You understand that motivation is temporary, but discipline is permanent. You've built systems and habits that support your long-term vision, and you stick to them whether you're inspired or not. This isn't about being rigid or joyless. It's about recognizing that real freedom comes from having the discipline to choose long-term benefits over short-term pleasures. Most people admire discipline but struggle to develop it. For you,
It's just how you operate. Chapter 13. Freedom is non-negotiable. Above everything else, you value your autonomy. The thought of being trapped, controlled, or dependent on others is your worst nightmare. You'll sacrifice money, comfort, and social approval to maintain your independence. You don't want to be anyone's employee forever, anyone's dependent, or anyone's project. You want to write your own rules, make your own choices, and live life on your terms. This drive for freedom influences every major decision you make: where you live, how you work, who you date, what commitments you make. You're always looking for ways to increase your autonomy and reduce your dependencies. Others might see this as selfish or commitment phobic, but you see it as essential to your well-being. You're not trying to avoid responsibility, you're trying to choose your responsibilities rather than having them imposed on you. Conclusion. If you recognize yourself in most of these signs, congratulations. You might actually be a Sigma male. Not the fake internet version, but the real thing. But here's what you need to understand. Being a Sigma isn't about being better than alphas or betas. It's not a hierarchy. It's just a different way of moving through the world. You're not superior, you're just different. The Sigma path isn't easy. You'll be misunderstood, you'll miss out on opportunities that require playing social games, and you'll often feel like an outsider. But you'll also have something most people never experience: the freedom to be authentically yourself. Don't try to become a Sigma if you're not one naturally. Don't use this as an excuse to be antisocial or avoid growth. And definitely don't use it as a way to feel superior to others. If you are one, embrace it. Stop trying to fit into boxes that weren't made for you. Stop apologizing for needing space, wanting freedom, or seeing through social games. Your path is different, but it's valid. The world needs Sigmas, people who think independently, live authentically, and refuse to follow the crowd. Just don't announce it. Real Sigmas don't need the world to know what they are. They just are.